Welcome back to WC Coins World, your go-to place for everything related to rare and collectible coins. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar, a coin that has sparked interest, confusion, and even frustration among collectors and the general public alike. From its controversial design to its limited circulation and unique mint varieties, this dollar coin has a fascinating history that deserves a closer look. So, grab your coin collections, sit back, and join me as we explore the full story of the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar in depth. The story of this coin begins in the 1970s, a time when the United States government was looking for a solution to rising production costs associated with the Eisenhower dollar, which had been in circulation since 1971. The Eisenhower dollar was a large, heavy coin that many people found inconvenient for everyday use. As a result, it saw limited circulation outside of casinos and vending machines. The U.S. Mint and Congress sought to create a new dollar coin that would be smaller, lighter, and more practical for everyday transactions. In 1977, Congress passed the legislation approving a new small-sized dollar coin, and the design process began. One of the most significant aspects of this new dollar coin was its namesake. The Susan B. Anthony dollar became the first U.S. coin to feature a real woman rather than a symbolic figure like Lady Liberty. Susan B. Anthony was a prominent women's rights activist who played a key role in the women's suffrage movement, fighting tirelessly for women's right to vote. Her inclusion on a U.S. coin was a major milestone in American numismatic history and a significant recognition of her contributions to equality. The design of the Susan B. Anthony dollar was created by Frank Gasparo, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at the time. Gasparo was also responsible for designing the Eisenhower dollar and the Lincoln Memorial reverse on the penny. For this coin, Gasparo based his depiction of Susan B. Anthony on a well-known portrait of her. However, the design process was not without controversy. Some critics argued that the depiction of Anthony was too harsh or stern, while others felt that the overall aesthetic of the coin was uninspiring. Despite the mixed reactions, the design was approved, and the first Susan B. Anthony dollars were struck in 1979. One of the most immediate issues with the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar was its size and appearance. The coin was designed to be 26.5 millimeters in diameter and weighed 8.1 grams, making it significantly smaller than the Eisenhower dollar but still larger than a quarter. The problem arose because the coin was too close in size, thickness, and color to the quarter, leading to widespread confusion. Many people accidentally mistook the dollar coin for a quarter, which hindered its acceptance in everyday transactions. Adding to the confusion was the coin's metallic composition. The 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar was made from a copper-nickel-clad composition, the same as quarters and dimes, rather than being silver or containing a distinguishable material. This lack of visual distinction made it even more unpopular among the public, who preferred paper dollar bills over a coin that was easy to mix up with quarters. The 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar was struck at 3 different U.S. Mint facilities: Philadelphia, P., Denver, D., and San Francisco, S. Each mint produced millions of these coins, with slight variations in their design and strike characteristics. The Philadelphia Mint did not place a mint mark on its coins initially, but in 1979, it became the first year since 1945 that Philadelphia minted coins carried a P mint mark. The Denver Mint's coins bore a D mint mark, while the San Francisco Mint produced both business strikes and proof versions with an S mint mark. One of the most famous varieties of the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar is the 1979 P. wide rim or near-date variety. Early in the production process, the U.S. Mint struck some of the coins with a wider rim, causing the date to appear much closer to the edge of the coin. This variety is highly sought after by collectors because the majority of 1979 P. dollars have a narrow rim, making the wide rim version much scarcer. If you happen to find a 1979 P dollar with the wide rim, it can carry a significant premium depending on its condition. The San Francisco Mint also produced proof versions of the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar. Intended for collectors rather than general circulation. These proof coins were struck with specially polished dies and feature a deep mirror-like finish with frosted design elements. However, within the proof coins, there exist two different varieties of the S mint mark. The 1979 S-Type 1 features a more rounded, blob-like S, while the 1979 S-Type 2 has a much clearer and more defined S. The Type 2 version is rarer and therefore commands a higher value among collectors, despite the U.S. Mint's efforts to promote the Susan B. Anthony dollar. The coin was met with overwhelming rejection by the public. The confusion with the quarter, combined with people's preference for paper dollars, meant that the coin was rarely used in everyday transactions. By 1981, production of the Susan B. Anthony dollar had ceased, marking one of the shortest-lived circulating U.S. coin series in history. However, the story of the Susan B. Anthony dollar didn't end there. In the late 1990s, the U.S. government realized it needed a dollar coin for use in vending machines, particularly in transit systems, and since a new design wasn't ready, the Susan B. Anthony dollar was briefly revived in 1999, making it the only U.S. coin to be struck for circulation. After an 18-year gap in production, the 1999 coins were minted in Philadelphia and Denver, and they are distinguishable from the earlier issues by their sharper strikes and more modern appearance. The legacy of the Susan B. Anthony dollar remains complex. While it was a failure in everyday commerce, it set the stage for future small dollar coins like the Sacagawea dollar. Introduced in 2000, the Sacagawea dollar addressed many of the issues that plagued the Susan B. Anthony dollar by incorporating a golden-colored alloy to distinguish it from quarters and making minor size adjustments. Today, collectors are increasingly interested in the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar, particularly the wide rim variety, the proof Type 2S mint mark, and high-grade uncirculated examples. While most 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollars are still worth only face value, rare varieties and pristine condition pieces can fetch anywhere from $50 to several $100s, depending on the market and demand. If you have any of these coins, take a close look at the rim, mint mark, and overall condition, as you might be holding on to a rare variety without even realizing it. Collecting and learning about these coins not only brings historical appreciation, but also the excitement of numismatic treasure hunting. That wraps up our deep dive into the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update from WC Coins World. Let me know in the comments if you have any of these coins, or if you've come across a rare variety. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.